Hello, welcome. Today we are going to discuss a problem related to the turbojet engine. The problem is like this. A turbojet engine is flying with a velocity of 320 meter per second at an altitude of 9150 meters, where the ambient conditions are 32 kilopascal and minus 32 degrees centigrade. The pressure ratio across the compressor is 12 and the temperature at the turbine inlet is 1400 degree Kelvin. Air enters the compressor at a rate of 40 kgs per second and the jet fuel has a heating value of 42,700 kilojoules per kg, assuming ideal operation for all components and constant specific heats for air at room temperature. Determine the first one, the temperature and pressure at the turbine exit, the velocity of the exhaust gases, and the propulsive power developed. Next, the propulsive efficiency and the rate of fuel consumption. So this is the problem, and let us try to solve this problem. Here we can see the TS diagram for this one, and let us try to draw the TS diagram for the previous case problem. So here the TS diagram can be drawn as the 1 to 2 for the jet engines. The 1 to 2 the process is belongs to the diffuser, and 2 to 3 is the process which is belongs to the compressor, and 3 to 4 is belongs to the combustion chamber, and 4 to 5 happen in the turbine, and 5 to 6 will be executed in the nozzle. And again, if it is a closed cycle, but it is going to be a, come to the initial position. But anyhow, all turbojet engines working on the open cycle gas turbine. So in open cycle gas turbine, and the exhaust gases leaving from the nozzle itself. And now see that 1 to 2 process executed in the diffuser, the process is isentrophically, because in the problem it is specifically say that assume all operations are ideal. So therefore all the operations that are executed in the turbojet engines are ideal process only. So that can be say that 1 to 2 would be the isentropic expansion or isotropic compression in the diffuser, and 2 to 3 is also the isotropic compression that is happening in the compressor, and 3 to 4 is the constant pressure heat addition occurred in the combustion chamber. And after that the 4 to 5 would be the executed in the turbine isentropically, nothing but isentropic expansion happening in the turbine, and 5 to 6 will be the isentropic expansion happening in the nozzle. So this is a TS diagram, and let us try to see that what are the given data in the problem. So when you see the problem here, the vehicle is flying with a velocity of 320 meter per second. Means that the air which is enter into the diffuser will be equal to the speed of the vehicle. So this is a 320 would be the inlet point air velocity, or we can say it is also equal to the velocity of the vehicle. And there is a 32 kilopascal the pressure is given, and at the inlet condition, and minus 32 degrees centigrade is also given as a temperature. These are the pressure and temperatures are given at point 1. And also there is given that the pressure ratio in the compressor, the compressor is happening from the 2 to 3. Therefore, the pressure ratio can be defined as P3 by P2 would be equal to the 12. And the temperature at the turbine inlet is given that 1400 degree Kelvin. So the temperature inlet would be the 0.4. So the 0.4 would be the inlet temperature of the turbine, and 0.5 would be the outlet temperature of the turbine. So the point 4 temperature T4 is given in the problem, that is equal to the 1400 degree Kelvin. And air enters the compressor at a rate of 40 kg per second. Mass of the air is given, that is equal to 40 kg per second. Jet of fuel has a heating value. The calorific value of the fuel is given 42,700 kg per kilojoules per kg. So these are the data that are given in the problem. Using this data, we need to be find out what is the temperature and pressure at the turbine exit. Means that at point 5, so mean at point 5, we need to be find out what is the temperature and the pressure. And second one is the velocity of the exhaust gases. The velocity of the exhaust gases is nothing but 0.6. The velocity of gases are leaving the nozzle. So at 0.6, we need to be find out the what is the velocity and also the propulsive power developed, and need to be find out the what is the efficiency and the rate of fuel consumption. Let us see that one by one. So this is the TS diagram for the open cycle gas turbine, and depending upon this TS diagram, the jet engine is working. So here tabulate the given value. So at a point of 1 to 2 is the diffuser process, and in the diffuser, the air is entered into the turbojet engine and compressed isentrophically. And 2 to 3 is happening in the compressor. Again, the air is going to be compressed from the pressure T2 to the T3, and the pressure is going to be rise from the 2 to 3, and upon that, the air is going to be compressed. And 3 to 4 is the combustion process happening in the combustion chamber, and 4 to 5 is the turbine expansion process where the work is developed to run the compressor, and 5 to 6 is the expansion happening in the nozzle, and from the exit of the nozzle the hot gases will be moving out. Okay, so here the T1 is given as well as P1 is given in the problem. The T1 is minus 32 degrees centigrade. In the Kelvin, it is equal to the 241 degree Kelvin. And pressure is given that 32 kilopascal. Similarly, at point 2, there is no pressure temperature is given in the problem. But at point 3, specifically say that the pressure ratio P3 by P2 is given in the problem. So therefore, the pressure at point 3 can be say that it is equal to the P3 by P2 is equal to 12. Therefore, P3 is equal to 12 into P2. This is the pressure at point 3, that is equal to the 12 into pressure at point 2. And at point 4, the inlet turbine temperature is given 1400 degree Kelvin, and the pressure at point 4 must be equal to the pressure at point 3, because 3 to 4 is the called as a constant pressure heat addition. P3 is equal to the P4. And at 5, there is no data is given in the problem, and we need to be find out what is the pressure and temperature at point 5. And at point 6, and there is given that the pressure, because the outlet of the nozzle must be equal to the air that is going to be entering into the diffuser pressure. So this P1 must be equal to the P6 as per this diagram. So therefore, it is possible to say that the exit nozzle hot gases pressure is equal to the 32 kilopascal. So this is the data which is given in the problem. Using this data, we are going to be determine the remaining things. Let us recall in the some of the assumptions that are taking for the ideal cases, because in the problem we mentioned that all the process from the diffuser to the nozzle, all the process are executing ideally. There is no actual process are there. So using that ideal condition problem, we are going to solve the remaining unknowns. So whenever the ideal conditions are existing, we're going to take the assumption. That assumption, let us recall it. First assumption is the change in potential energy must be equal to the assumed to equal to the 0 for all component. For all component, the potential energy is going to be 0. And the second point, the kinetic energy is approximately equal to 0 for compressor, for combustion chamber, that is called burner, and turbine section only. And the kinetic energy is not going to be equal to 0 in the nozzle as well as in the diffuser. So only it is going to be equal to 0 for the compressor, combustion chamber, and turbine section only. Third point would be the cold layer standard assumptions are applicable. And fourth point, ideal and steady operations of all components. And the last assumption, very important, the assumption is the turbine work must be equal to the compressor work. So whatever the turbine that is the work which is developed by the turbine must be equal to run the compressor. So that therefore it is possible to say that the compressor input work must be equal to the turbine generated work. Next, let us solve the first point. And to solve that, the first point that is given in the problem, we can consider the TS diagram. And in order to determine the temperature at the turbine exit, that is called at point 5, an energy balance over the turbine can be performed. So we need to take the energy balance in the turbine. So from consider the process 4 to 5 and apply the energy balance equation, that is called steady flow energy equation. When you apply the steady flow energy equation, therefore it is possible to write that the turbine work must be equal to the change in enthalpy. The change in enthalpy during the 4 to 5 process can be written as H4 minus H5. And similarly, it can be written as in terms of the temperature. So that can be written as the H4 minus H5 can be right as it is equal to the Cp into the change in temperature T4 minus T5. So this is a formula to find out the turbine work. And similarly, it is possible to write down the compressor work. The compressor work can be write as using the steady flow energy equation. The compressor work can be happen from the process 2 to 3. So therefore, the compressor work can be write as change in enthalpy during the process 2 to 3. So it is write as H3 minus H2. That is also equal to the MCP into T3 minus T2. Where mass, if you consider 1 kg, no need to consider here. The Cp into T3 minus T2 is called as a compressor work. So just now we mentioned one word, we taken one assumption, whatever the turbine work that generated by the turbine must be equal to the is utilized to run the compressor. So turbine work output must be equal to the compressor work input. So if we equate the equation number 2 and 3, it is possible to write that turbine work must be equal to the compressor work. And that can be written as Cp into T4 minus T5, that is called turbine work, is equal to the Cp into T3 minus T2, that is called compressor work. And Cp get cancelled, and T4 minus T5 must be equal to the T3 minus T2. So from this equation, and if you write that T5 is equal, the T5 can be written as it is equal to the T4 plus T2 minus T3. So to find out the exit temperature at the turbine, that is called at point 5, to find out the temperature at point 5, that is called as a turbine exit temperature, and we need to know that T4, T2 and T3 also. Okay, so let us try to find out the what are the unknown values. Since T4 is given in the problem statement, that is called the turbine inlet temperature is given. T4 is given in the problem 1400 degree Kelvin, and we need to know that what is the temperature T2 and what is the temperature T3. So to calculate temperature T2 and T3, we need to be take the steady flow energy equation. We need to take the steady flow energy equation at the diffuser. Let us take the diffuser, that is called process 1 to 2 is the diffuser process, isentropically compressed, and 1 to 2 you should take the steady flow energy equation or energy balance equation. And if you take that energy balancing equation, it is possible to write that that is equal to the kinetic energy 1 plus H1 change in enthalpy during the process, that is called H1 minus H2 must be equal to 0. Why? Because at the diffuser outlet, if it is the ideal process, the velocity at the diffuser outlet must be equal to the 0. So therefore, the kinetic energy at the point 2 must be equal to 0. So therefore, the energy equation can be read as kinetic energy at point 1 plus H1 minus H2 must be equal to 0. And this can be written as the change in enthalpy can be written as Cp into T2 minus T1 and must be equal to the kinetic energy, that is called V1 square by 2. And from this equation, it is possible to write that the T2 is equal to V1 square by 2 times of Cp plus T1. And here the V1 is nothing but the velocity of air which is entering into the diffuser, and that must be equal to the velocity of the jet. So the jet velocity, the turbojet, the vehicle velocity is equal to the V1, that is called the air velocity which is going to be entered into the diffuser. So V1 is known and the T1 is given in the problem and Cp is also known. So if you substitute here, then it is possible to know the T2 value. So if we substitute T2 is equal to V1 square by 2 times of Cp plus T1, we substitute here, that is equal to the V1 is equal to 320 square divided by the 2 into Cp is nothing but for air, it is equal to 1.00 plus T1, that is equal to 241. So if you substitute the value, therefore it is possible to find out the T2, that is equal to 291.9 degree Kelvin. And similarly, the pressure at location 2 can be determined by noting that the diffuser process is model as isentropic. And this is allow the use of the ideal gas relation. For isentropic process as shown below from the table A2 for air at room temperature, K should be taken as 1.4. So if you take that, the K is equal, that is called gamma or K 1.4, and for 1 to 2 process is the isentropic process, and if you apply the ideal gas equation, it is possible to write as T2 by T1 must be equal to the P2 by P1 to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma or K minus 1 by K, where K is equal 1.4. And here the T2 just now we calculated, T1 is given in the problem, and we should calculate the what is the P2, because P1 is also given in the problem. So P1 is known, T2 is calculated, T1 is known, and the K value is known. So only P2 is unknown value. So from this equation, the P2 can be calculated, and the P2 62.6 kilopascal. So once we calculate the P2, we obtain the value of the 62.6 kilopascal. Using the compressor pressure ratio, the heat is given in the problem. The pressure ratio for the compressor is given, that is called 12. So therefore, that is given that P3 by P2 is equal to 12. So if once you calculate the P2, therefore it is possible to calculate the P3, because P3 by P2 is equal to 12, which is given in the problem. The pressure ratio in the compressor P3 by P2 is equal to 12. From this equation, P3 can be calculated 12 times of P2. So therefore, P3 can be calculated 751.2 kilopascal. Since the compression process is model as isentropic, the temperature at the compressor exit, that is equal at 0.3, T3 can be solved using the ideal gas relation for isentropic process. So for isentropic process, it is possible to obtain the apply the isentropic gas equation, that is called from the process 2 to 3. So that can be write as T3 by T2 can be equal to the P3 by P2 to the power of K minus 1 by K. So here we need to be calculate what is the temperature at point 3, that is called exit temperature of the compressor. And T2 now just now we calculated, and P3 we calculated, and P2 also we calculated. We know the K is equal 1.4. Substituted here, therefore T3 can be calculated. It is equal to the 593.7 degree Kelvin. So determine once you determine the T2 and T3, therefore it is possible to apply in the equation number 5. So if you apply the equation number 5, the equation number 5 say that T5 is equal to T4 plus T2 minus T3, where T4 is equal inlet temperature of the turbine, which is given in the problem. T2 we calculated, and T3 is also we calculated. Once you substitute it here, 1400 plus T2 is equal to 291.9, just now we calculated, minus of T3, that is equal to 593.7. So from this one, it is possible to get that T5 is equal to 1098.2 degree Kelvin. Next, and let us apply the isentropic relation during the process 4 to 5. So the pressure at the turbine exit can be determined using the isentropic relation from the process 4 to 5. If you apply that, the isentropic equation or the ideal gas equation for isentropic process, that is T5 by T4 is equal to the P5 by P4 to the power of K minus 1 by K. So here T5 is unknown value, T4 is given in the problem, and here the P5 that is going to be calculated, and P4 which is equal to the P3 just now we calculated. So only unknown is called P5 and K is equal to 1.4. From this one P5 can be calculated. So that can be calculated, P5 is equal to 321.1. Now let us apply the 5 to 6 process, and 5 to 6 is a nozzle. So once you apply the steady flow energy equation for the 5 to 6, it is possible to write down, and there is a kinetic energy at 5 must be equal to 0, that is called velocity at 5 is going to be 0. So therefore it is possible to write as the h5 minus kinetic energy at point 6 must be equal to the h6. Okay, that is also right as it must be equal to the, and v6 square by 2 is equal to the cp t5 minus t6. And from this one it is possible to write that the exit velocity of the nozzle, that is called at point 6, the v6 can be write as under root of 2 times of cp into the change in temperature, that is called t5 minus t6. So here we need to know that what is the T6 value, because just now in the previous slide we calculated the T5, now need to be calculated T6. To calculate T6, and now we are going to apply the ideal gas equation for isentropic process. That can be written as T6 by T5 is equal to the P6 by P3. So where P6 must be equal to the P1, which is given in the problem, and P5 we calculated just now, and we need to be calculate what is T6, and T5 also we calculated. So from this one T6 can be calculated at 568.2 degrees centigrade, degree Kelvin, and substituting this result into the equation number 10, the velocity of the exhaust gases can be determined. The velocity V6 at exit can be read as under root of 2 times of Cp into change in temperature, that is equal T5 minus T6. Okay, so if we apply that one, then it is possible to write that, possible to know the exit velocity at the nozzle is equal to the 1032 meter per second. Now the next one is we need to focus that what is the propulsive power developed in the cycle. The propulsive power can be written as it is equal to the mass of air into velocity of exit minus velocity of inlet. Okay, so and that can be velocity of inlet. Okay, so the propulsive power is equal WP is equal mass of air into velocity of exit minus velocity of inlet into velocity of uh, aircraft. So here substituting in the known values into the equation number 11, the propulsive power developed can be determined as shown below. And here the one very important note is called as a, it was a previously noted that velocity inlet is equal to the velocity of aircraft. So velocity of inlet must be equal to the velocity of aircraft. So with that assumption, we need to take that inlet velocity must be equal to the aircraft velocity. If substituted in this one, the propulsive power can be the W suffix P dot is equal to the 40 into velocity of exit, that is called 1032, that is called 0.6 velocity, minus velocity of inlet, that is equal the flight velocity at 0.1 320 into the aircraft velocity, that is also equal to the flight velocity 320 meter per second. And if you substitute this value and calculate, therefore we'll get the power developed propulsive power in the cycle is equal to the 9113.6 kilowatts. Now we need to be defined the what is the propulsive efficiency. The propulsive efficiency is defined as propulsive power developed divided by the rate of heat input in the cycle. That is equal mathematically eta suffix p, that is equal propulsive power efficiency is equal to the W dot P divided by the Q in. So here W dot P just now we calculated. We need to be calculate what is the Q in. So the Q in can be calculated, that is called the heat supplied during the process 3 to 4. So during the 3 to 4, the what is the heat is supplied during the 3 to 4, that is called, that is Q dot in. That can be defined as mass of air into the change in enthalpy H4 minus H5, and that would be equal to the M into Cp into T4 minus T3. And substituting in the known value into the equation number above equation, the rate of heat input can be determined. M is equal 40 and Cp is equal 1.005, and where T4 is equal 1400 and minus T3 calculated, that is called 593.7 degree Kelvin. So every value is known. Therefore, it is possible to know the heat input in the cycle, that is called 32413.3 kilowatts. So if you substitute into the propulsive efficiency formula, then propulsive efficiency can be determined 0.2812. So 28.12. Next one is the last one would be the, we need to be calculate what is the rate of fuel consumption. It can be determined from the heating value of the fuel and the rate of heat input as shown above. So that can be rated as the Q dot is equal mass of fuel into the higher calorific value. So mass of fuel can be calculated that Q dot divided by the higher calorific value. That calorific value is given in the problem 42700. So this two ratio will give that the how much amount of fuel consumed in the cycle. That is equal 0.759 kg per second. So here let us conclude the session. So in the conclusion section, the first one is asking what is the temperature and pressure at the exit of the turbine. Means that 0.5, what is the T5, what is the P5. We calculated the temperature and pressure, that is equal, the temperature is equal at 0.5, 1098.2 degree Kelvin, and pressure 321.1 kilopascal. And next point is what is the exhaust gas velocity. At point 6 is asking what is the exhaust gas velocity. We calculate 1032 meter per second. And next he asked, he posed the question, what is the propulsive power? The propulsive power we calculated 9113.6 kilowatts, and propulsive efficiency 28.12. And lastly, the rate of fuel consumption, it is equal to 0.759 kg per second. So these are the determined value in the problem. Thank you.